Many of you know the blaster already, Mauser fire. This weekend, I took it and I gave it a couple of upgrades. One, if I can one-hand it out of here, magwell. I upped it to 8 layers of epoxy and 7.5 ounce cloth. It doesn't have a release. It was originally going to have a release, but it ended up not needing a release because these two ends actually act as springs. So what happens is, because fiberglass and epoxy, again, very hard to be one-loaded, one-handed, sorry, it doesn't really need a release. Like, look at that. Like, unless I really slap it out of there, and even then, you know, I gotta do it by hand. Yeah. And the other thing, and this is very turf-related, extremely turf-related, is I took a 10 kilogram Busby spring. I cut it down 3 coils, and I'm able to do that. That's right. Right through corrugated. Very nice. This is, of course, my 5 1/4 inch breech, my stainless steel breech. Identical to the Ultramatch breeches, with the exception that it's made for automatic fire rather than single shot at a time. But look at that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the spring and show it to you. Is I took 3 coils off of the spring right there, and look at that. Yeah, it's very, very nice. 10K, very powerful. The only problem is that this right here needs to be bored out and greased. And even then, like even now, I hit it with a round file all day. Okay. Yeah. This is the same diameter as the 12 kilogram. But even then, it's still very, how would you say, tight. I had to fix this, get a new one. I have tons of spare sharp fires because these are like my favorite blasters. And, well, this is what happened to it. Basically, you can see that it kind of broke. Yeah. So I had to redo this right here. And when I did it, I decided instead of a 12 kilogram, why not use something that's lighter gauge but more pre-compression? And what I'm getting is I'm getting velocities into the 185-200 range without dual springing. So if this was tighter in diameter and maybe 1 gauge down, okay, so basically like an 8 kilogram retaliator spring, that gauge but longer, and I have my 8 kilogram metallic gauge in a blaster right now, so I can't really take it out. But this would fit this perfectly. And if it had more coils, let's say it was as long as, I'd say maybe an inch, maybe 3/4 inch shorter than the Turf 10, and it had this length to it. This length is about 5 inches. Then you would have a really nice sharp fire spring. And I mean nice, okay? So, something to consider.